It seems that the big Russia election fiasco has now entangled some pretty big names from the Obama administration, but not for allegedly working with the Russians instead, because the House Intel Committee wants to find out if anybody illegally unmasked U.S. citizens, in this case, Trump campaign staffers. These new subpoenas for information on any requests made by former National Security Advisor Susan Rice, former CIA Director John Brennan, and former United Nations Ambassador Samantha Power for names to be unmasked in relation to claims about Russian election meddling. The president was quick to jump on the story, tweeting, "The big story is the unmasking and surveillance of people that took place during the Obama administration." So, is this a bigger outrage? Let me ask Buck Sexton. He's a former CIA officer and host of Buck Sexton with America Now. Welcome back, Buck.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, big names on that list. We just saw Brennan on Capitol Hill. He's coming back. He's bringing his gal pal, Samantha Power.
Here's why this is not going to be, I think, particularly satisfying for a lot of people on the right who view this as a leaks versus collusion war, which is really what's going on here, right? You have on the one side the focus, whether it's from the president or others, on leaks, which can be illegal. Some of the ones we've seen certainly would be illegal if they would confirm or deny that the information is real, which I should note the government still does not officially do. And on the other side, you have collusion. But on this notion of unmasking, if it falls within their discretion, meaning if the official has the ability to unmask, then their rationale can be pretty amorphous, meaning more or less, if it's, I thought I needed to know who was in this report because I needed to know because I wanted to know.
And I'm in a position of power.
And I'm in a position of power, that is legal. So all these people who are talking about illegal unmasking, what they're really trying to refer to, I think, is abuse of government power, which would be unethical, but not illegal, which is a very important distinction. There could be political
There are people like Rand Paul who are trying to make this form of masking illegal because they're saying it's American citizens who are being targeted and caught up in these nets where, you know, originally you have a foreign target, but you know that person is talking to a bunch of people. Sergei Kislyak talks to everybody. So every single conversation, and you could say, well, we think he might be a spy. We think he may have nefarious aims. And therefore, everyone he talks to and everyone they talk to can be caught up in this unmasking net, and that is wrong.
What Senator Paul is referring to would be reforming the way the system currently works. But there's always this tension between intelligence collection, which is extra legal in a sense. It goes outside the bounds of the Fourth Amendment and respecting the Fourth Amendment rights of individual U.S. citizens. And if there was an abuse here, and I think there are a lot of people who are
the FISA court told the NSA there were abuses during the Obama administration.
I meant specific abuses related to Trump and Trump campaign aides. That we don't know. Oh, no. The system clearly needs some degree of reform. There are mistakes being made at a level and at a consistency that show that the massive surveillance that's going on is happening in ways that are infringing on people's rights.
But you're worried that the latest dog and pony show isn't going to get to the bottom of any of those pressing, important questions.
Well, you have this back and forth between the two sides that suggests that whether you're Republican or Democrat, you think that there are going to be people that are frog-marched out of their office or out of their TV studio or wherever it is that they are, right? They're going to be sent to prison for what's going on here. For illegal leaks of classified, that may happen. But for unmasking and certainly for collusion, which is not even itself a crime, doesn't fall anywhere under federal statutes, that I don't think is going to happen. So people that are looking at this as a political fight, which is what I think it is, they'll see that there'll be a lot of focus put on how much of the unmasking will we be told about, by the way. A lot of this will still remain classified.
Of course it is, and that's what all these people will rely on. Comey does that every time he testifies. He wants to talk about himself, but anytime someone asks him a substantive question, he defers and says, well, I can't answer that right now. You know, maybe at some point I'll look it up and get back to you, but right now I've got to keep that under wraps. Buck Sexton, glad you did not remain under wraps today, and you showed yourself.
So far, so good.
Very good.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens. The night is young.